What time you got?
6:03.
Okay.
Open the meeting 6:03 for the Board of Assessors. And we are being taped by the West Bridgewater Community TV.
Mr. Chairman and board members, your appointment for 6:15 canceled
Okay.
his appointment. I told him he could get back on the 3rd of July. He's not sure. He'll get back to me.
Is that Isaac?
No, it's a residential property though. And your 6:30 appointment is here. I told him that the board may entertain the notion of moving them up on
Sure, yeah.
on the agenda and the thing, so.
Yeah.
Just a couple of announcements. You have a notice of intent to convert classified land use at 134 Lincoln Street, which is the old Russo Center, and you know that they've been here to have discussions with the board.
Yeah. Did we get that under 61? Did we get the first right of refusal?
Yes.
Oh, that's
the town
not
has the
true.
first right of
The
refusal.
town had no interest in that one?
Well, that question is before the Board of Assessors and all the boards and committees and commissions weigh in.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them, but those that are
I know how I feel about
statutorily
it.
listed.
I don't know how these guys, but I know how I feel about it, so.
So, if you want to have a discussion or have a motion to decline, then I would prepare that paperwork for the board the next time. Oh, you are here.
I did make it, so.
Oh, you did make it. Oh, your 6:15 appointment is here. So we can move.
You can come in, it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just throw my
I know
pen
if
here
you're-
myself.
I could change your mind.
Is there, do you see any need for discussion on that?
I assume that the board would not be interested in making a recommendation for purchase
Right.
to the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
No?
But it's a board decision, I don't.
Yeah, you can forward
I wanna
that.
preclude
That'd be,
the
you know,
decision.
that's, I think, I don't know what, you know, speaking for myself, very familiar with the land and the stuff going on down there. And it's-
If that's the consensus of the board, I'll draft a letter for your signature.
What was, do you know, I don't know if they got approval, what was the total number of units in there? The 8 condos and the 3 A&Rs?
There are two, I think.
If you
there are-
don't have it, no big deal.
I just have the assessor's plan, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4 lots.
A&R lots?
A&R lots.
Yeah, and in the
I
back?
think the intention is to put, that's including the one in the back. It has frontage on Lincoln Street.
Right, so the 3 A&Rs and then the 8 units out in back, or whatever it was?
I think they're duplexes for each parcel, so they're total 8. 4 parcels with duplexes on each parcel, I believe.
Nope.
No?
Her presentation was, you know, kind of the attorney was a little mixed up, but the 3 A&R lots put aside, they were going for the 8 units on the piece, not including the A&Rs.
The back.
Yeah, it was 8 plus, you know, whatever they're gonna do up front. I'm not sure on the, up front on the A&Rs, whether they're gonna go deuces or singles, but in the back, it might have been duplexes. But it was just, it was 4, so 8 units, right?
I thought it was 8 total, but I could be mistaken.
And I was telling somebody about this, where we're doing that big taking project in Brockton, and a good chunk of that is some duplexes. So we have to go out and, you know, on the taking, not prove the land value for the multis. So I've been looking at those last couple of days, residential land sales for duplexes around the countryside, and they're going for more than you think.
250?
Yeah. Thereabouts. Foxborough, Taunton, Berkeley, you know, all in the hinterlands. But I was surprised, you know, I mean, I thought I might have trouble cherry picking those bad boys, but it was, no, there's data out there. Anyways,
Okay.
so I think that was a total of 3 plus like 11 units total or something. Yeah.
I'll draft a memo to the effect that the board is not interested in making a recommendation for
Right.
purchase by the town of West Bridgewater. So I attended the Patriot Properties Annual Cape Cod Conference on Monday.
Yeah.
I picked up a couple of pieces of information that the board should consider, I think should consider going forward. One, they have a software upgrade, so I asked for a quotation on that. They haven't gotten back to me.
For what? On the
For the upgrade of the software itself.
Yeah.
The entire.
All of it or
the entire
yeah,
software
yeah.
package. And as of fiscal year 2021, the word is that the Department of Revenue will require a full appraisal of all 504 personal property accounts.
Nice.
We have 3 504s, and
Right.
as you know, as an appraiser, Steve, that could be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 per account.
Yeah.
Or 15,000 to
I mean,
$30,000.
Hopefully, it doesn't work out that way, but hopefully there's some type of volume discount there, because you're right. However, yeah, that's good to know, because going forward, we'll need that money in the budget, or wherever that's gonna come from, because it will be substantial. That stuff doesn't come cheap.
That's right. And you can imagine what the problem's gonna be, 351 cities and towns, all under the same requirement. Where are they gonna find appraisers to do all of that work?
Oh,
There's gonna be a handful of appraisers.
Yeah,
as
there'll
you
be
know,
guys,
that are expert in that area.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys that do it,
Okay.
but, so that, they've just hit the, the lottery, well, that's the requirement there,
And as I mentioned before, the Plymouth County Assessors Association will be conducting its Cape Cod Canal Cruise on Wednesday, July 17th, and the Mass Association of Assessing Officers annual school at UMass Amherst is scheduled for August 5th through the 9th. That's all I have for my appraisers report.
Getting back on the 504s, does JJ do that stuff or not? Is he a certified, Mass
No.
General certified appraiser? No.
So there's paperwork for you to sign. I see that Tammy's here. Did you want to talk on your vacation request, or did you have something
Yeah, I
else?
wanted to, after you
You wanna come up,
spoke
or?
on it,
Or you-
it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
So you have monthly abatements, you have some vacation requests. Which if you want this payroll, there's a couple of requests for 8 of 58. One is on 4 parcels that we're taking, a consensual order of taking from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and the other one is
What-
personal property on the.
What drove the 8 of 58 there? That's where
The
there's
Com-
4 of them?
The Commonwealth took the properties, we didn't convert the codes from taxable to non-taxable, so the Commonwealth received tax bills on it. They didn't file an application.
The Commonwealth did? Let them come in and prove their case. That'll last about 2 seconds.
And some motor vehicle excise abatements, and then there's 2 requests for vacation. One is from Daniela Nielsen. She's asking to take off the week of Monday, July 15th through Friday, July 19th. That's something that she had scheduled before she was employed by the town of West Bridgewater. So I'm recommending the board approve it.
Yeah, whatever you think.
She'll probably qualify for a few hours of time off, but she hasn't really accumulated a week's worth of time off, so she'd have to take it at no pay. She understands that.
Sure.
She agrees to that. And then you have a request from Tammy for Wednesday, June 26th, Thursday, June 27th, Friday, every Friday in July, every Friday in August, and the first Friday of September. I received this request this morning, and I spoke with Tammy about it. I will recommend Wednesday, June 26th, Thursday, June 27th, and Friday, July 5th. I haven't had a chance to look at the calendar or the workload for Danielle. I haven't had a conversation with Danielle. Tammy has spoken with Danielle. It appears that
They're not overlapping, are they? No? No.
it appears not,
Okay.
but I really would like to go over the calendar. But
Yeah, whatever
obviously,
you think.
these first 3 requested days off are next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, July 5th. So I would recommend that you approve those.
Okay.
And then we'll sit down and review the others.
That's fine.
Well, when are we gonna sit down and review those? Because if she
Tammy-
wants to
Tammy
do
and I will
July.
sit down.
Can I just?
Sure.
So, those Fridays that I took off, I'm trying to plan my summer with my grandson, so.
Yeah.
I really need to give my daughter like an answer as soon as I can. So if every Friday's a problem, I don't know if you consider every other Friday or every 3 Fridays, just so that I can give her a
Yeah.
schedule. I had done this last year, I gave a copy of my last year's summer schedule because Dawn and I worked it out and that.
As far as I'm concerned, whatever you need, whatever, yeah, that's fine,
So, those are the dates that I would like to do, but if I can't, I was just curious if you could kind of make a decision as soon as possible so I can just set this up, because,
Yeah.
I kind of got to wait.
I mean, like every Friday versus like every other Friday, or certain
If
Fridays?
that's what you would prefer or something, I just
Yeah.
want to get a schedule going.
Sure.
Last year we did it in May, but it's just been a little crazy this year, and I
Yeah.
didn't get to it.
So-
I'm afraid it's gonna linger on, and then I'm not gonna be able to.
Well, yeah, let me,
So.
with Daniela being a new hire, like you said, right, no, it's just that, not that, just that she doesn't have a lot of time to take, so she'll probably be here every
And
Friday.
they're here,
Yeah.
so she's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like she'll be
so-
by herself, so.
There's no
I mean-
no time.
Well, what if, let's just say, because I agree about letting her take the time, I don't have an issue. But what if we just say tentatively that, yes, it's fine, but if some extenuating circumstance comes up, we may ask you to change your plan on a Friday with advance notice.
Brian, can I have at least like a week's notice, just because I have to,
Tammy would, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
But I don't,
Yeah, no, but obviously with as much
Because I
notice
just
as
have to give
possible,
the
I mean, and if you
daycare
can't change your
notice.
plans, you know, then you can't change your plans, but I understand what you're
Mhm.
trying to do.
Yes, I'm very flexible, you know.
But if
I-
that's the possibility, then I agree with Steve, I don't see the
Do
problem.
we have,
Fridays are half the days, it's
But
not
on the
the
other
full.
hand,
Yeah.
John's gonna need some Fridays off, Danielle.
well, I just haven't looked at my schedule. See, Tammy, I understand what certainty. So we can sit down as soon as, Tammy and I can sit down as soon as possible. Like I said, I only received this morning. I was preparing other things for tonight's meeting, a couple of.
well, couldn't we, you know, you give it to us with certainty, and if something comes up, can we call a senior work-off person to come in to answer the phones and such on a Friday? You know, if we have to.
Well, I mean, even if that's the case, I can just come in and answer the phones and do the same thing, I don't mind
Yeah.
doing that, that's never a problem.
I just, you know,
I'm only
I think
around
what
the
we ought to
corner.
say is with certainty, and then, like Paula said, that if something comes up and we might need her, we'll give her as much notice as possible. But,
That's not my recommendation, but obviously it's
Honestly,
your decision.
I don't agree. I mean, I understand she needs her time off, but, you know, it is the office, and we've already been through this. It's worked that way. I mean, maybe every other Friday. I mean, every single Friday, I don't know. I don't agree with it.
I
I
just
mean,
wanna
it's
look at
not
the
anything
workload, as I
personal.
said.
yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say, that obviously, you know, we're not being elected. I'm off in Neverland every Friday working, so I don't know what goes on with the taxpayer input, you know, and responsibilities on a Friday morning. So, I'll let you make that decision, you know, and then we'll work with it. But, you know, like these guys said, if she has to come in, or somebody has to answer the phone, or if she has to go to work for, you know, with an advance notice, we should try to make it work so she gets to be with her granddaughter on a
We do
Friday.
everything we can to accommodate
Yeah,
the
sure,
employees.
yeah.
Well-
Unfortunately, it's a small office, this is the problem, you know.
That's what makes it hard.
In the office I work with, they had like, up in Newton, we had 17 people, but that was never a problem,
That's it.
you know.
Well, what if we then, just tentatively say, obviously she's got the time off for next week, and we say for July. And then they can figure out August, and
That's
then at
good.
least that way she gets part of her
Yeah,
certainty,
that's all right.
and we meet her halfway.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
then I
that-
might be able to like switch something up or something.
Well, yeah, but right, but we'll do it, so
Yeah.
July you'll
That would
get
be-
the
that would be
Fridays,
good,
and
yeah.
then you and John can sit and figure out about August and go from there. But at
Alright,
least that will give you
just
some certainty,
That's a good
and you can
recommendation.
Yeah,
plan
very
with your
good.
daughter.
Yeah, that's fine.
That
I
work?
just- Yeah, I just didn't wanna kinda let it linger on, cause
That's
No,
fine.
it's hard, and then the holidays come, the 4th of July, and things get
Yeah.
kinda wonky,
Yeah,
so no,
We
I get it.
want to accommodate you, so that'll be good.
thank you so much.
No problem, Tammy.
Okay.
So that's all I have for open session. You have two appointments.
6:15 came in.
6:15 appointment is here. So I would recommend the board make a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing applications for abatement. Under purpose 7, Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 60, and to review and discuss strategy of pending appellate tax board cases relative to purpose 7 and 3 under Mass General Laws 59, Section 60, and not to reconvene an open session.
Good. I'll make a motion to enter into executive sessions for all the reasons that the principal assessor just mentioned. Do I have a second?
Second?
Roll call. Assessor Bunker?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
McCarthy, yes.
6:18.